Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Orlando and I am going to be the person that gets you into your first rental property. And today we're going to be talking about, can you get into real estate with no money down using a conventional slash VA loan, quote unquote, 100% financing? And the answer to that is yes, of course you can. So we're gonna go over the most important things when it comes to 100% financing that you would get from a bank. So number one, guys, is credit. Credit is really big when it comes to getting a conventional loan and a VA loan. What's going to happen in this scenario, guys, is you have to make sure that your credit is at least a 620. It probably can maybe inch down a little bit lower, but I think that you're safe at 620. Now, what's more important isn't that your credit is a 620. It matters what is in your credit, guys. Make sure that you have everything situated as far as you don't owe any collection agencies. Anybody that you owe, more than likely, you will have to pay off anything that you owe. Let's just say you owe $2,000 for an old medical bill that you didn't pay. The bank will ask you to make sure that you pay off that loan and before they move forward. Also, you're going to have to give explanations of why you were late on certain bills. So let's just say you have a bunch of 60-day lates or 90-day lates or even 120-day lates. You're going to have to write a letter explaining why you were late on those bills. Maybe it was just a bad season in your life, but you need to really just explain that in a letter format and give it to the bank so that they know this is the reasons why you were late. And just a tip here, you do not want to put in the letter that you didn't pay it because you didn't want to. Don't do that. Two, let's talk about your debt to income ratio, or what's called DTI. It is very important, guys, that you try to get that as low as possible, because what's going to happen is the bank is going to look at your debt to income. And how do they do that? Well, a lot of times people think that the debt to income includes everything, but that's not true. What debt to income includes is everything that's on your credit report. So your card note, your student loans, credit cards, and what they will take is your payments that you pay every month. So let's just say your credit card is a minimum payment of $25. Let's just say your card note is $300. They're gonna take all that debt, take your gross income, then they're gonna minus your expenses from your income, and then divide that to find out your debt to income percentage. You do not want to be over 40%, and that is including the new mortgage. So let's talk about the rules when it comes to getting into a primary residence and then flipping it into an investment property. You are allowed to stay in this property for 1 year. After you get in it for 1 year, then you are allowed to move out into another property and do this all over again and rent out your old residence. That is what a lot of people do, quote unquote, house hacking. And I suggest that you do it too. You get into the property for 100% financing, and then you move on and you do it to another property. Now, let's just talk about, when it comes to the VA, what you're allowed to do. You are allowed to move out anytime if you have orders or anything else, because that is normally a military thing where you move around a lot. So sometimes you may have just bought a property, and let's just say that year isn't up, and let's say 2 months later you have to leave because you got PCS somewhere else, right? Or you got stationed somewhere else. That is okay. You can rent it out and then do the same thing. But just remember, with the VA loan, you do have a cap. You do have a cap on how much money you will be able to get with a VA loan. With a conventional loan, it's normally based on each bank. I would suggest everyone go to a credit union. They normally have the lowest rates and are probably the most generous when it comes to rules on credit and DTI. So I would really suggest you go to a community bank. So I hope you got value out of the content, and I'm gonna make sure I get you into your first rental property. I'm gonna give you everything I have, educational and tip-wise and teaching-wise, that I can to get you into your first property. So I'm gonna need you to watch this next video. The next video here will help you also to get to that next step to get you into your first rental property. So I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.